me check which chapter we're on here. Dago, chapter 7. Cool. So last time with Dago, he was sent ashore from the ship, and Miss Puzzle was found dead in the city of Alpan, where revolutionaries had turned the city into chaos. So we have to figure out what will Dago be. We'll learn what was Dago up to next. But yeah, if you guys happen to catch me tomorrow, that'll be great. By all means, we can do some more of the interactive stuff. If I'm just not sure which time I'll be streaming, what time I'll be streaming. But Monday night, be sure to come back. We'll continue the storyline of Melium probably, and maybe even get some more characters involved with Luthera. That would be kind of fun too. We kind of have like 2 different time periods right now, a little bit. So awesome. All right, well, let me actually get this arranged better for you guys. Move this over here. Got to get that map in there. So he's up here in Elpan, having sailed all the way around here on their ship and now just kicked out in the streets. There we go. And we do have artwork of Dago, so we can put that up as well. There he is. A bittersweet toast, it looks like. Oops. And then I change it right away. Sure, Amen Nishtar. Yeah, I think he might have a plan in play. We'll have to check that out next time that we get into that time period again. So be sure to tune in next time. I'm thinking Monday for sure, if not sometime tomorrow. So just be sure to say hi when you pop by. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to do Dago chapter. Dago 7. 30th of the 6th moon, years since Orish, 1478. Dago spent 2 days in a boarded-up alleyway, scrounging for food. He got stronger each day, wandering around in search of food. He hadn't yet needed the brass sword he kept at his waist, but it provided comfort when he slept with it clutched in his hands. Over the course of those days, he only slept 6 hours, in 2 stints of 3. He'd always been able to wake himself on command. It wasn't incredibly accurate, but in a war zone like Elpan, it was likely the difference between life and death. 3 times he hid from people, hobbling down an alleyway on his crutches, or laying in the bushes where they grew near sewer entrances or citizens' gardens. Though he frequently saw people in the windows, no one offered him shelter. It was a risky game. If he stepped on the Crimson Highway without enough strength to bear whatever trials those bandits gave him, he was dead. If he waited for his strength too long, in the bleak recesses of Elpan, he was dead. 2 days after the captain of that blasted ship had left him here, he walked along the outer wall of the city and whistled the tune of the Roadside Wizard. It is a popular ballad from the royal taverns of Hyrena, where bards and poets competed for ribbons of revelry from the joyous king. Ah, Hyrena on the river, Dago muttered wistfully. I'd give my broken leg to see Hyrena right now. A few dogs, fighting over a chop of unknown meat, scampered away at the sound of his voice, and Dago fell silent. In the distance, human voices and animal ones resounded off the low clouds, a much different choir than the youthful voices of the joyous king's court. He saw a flickering shadow ahead, the shape of a man, cast by firelight against the bloodied city wall. There was a group of bodies around a toppled carriage nearby, and when the movement of shadows crossed it, Dago lost sight of the sighting. Without a word, he stopped his feet, turned his crutches to the left, and hobbled into the nearest alley. He stayed there, leaning against the cold gray bricks of a residential house. There was no sound, inside or out, save Dago's breathing. And then, a small group of people were running at him. He dropped his crutches and drew his sword. Then he realized they were not hostiles. 2 women were in the front, one carrying a child with a cloth around its mouth. 3 men were behind, wearing rags, tattered coats, and one missing his shoes. They didn't spot Dago until they were almost upon him, and one of the men stumbled forward past his women with a steak knife drawn. "Whoa," said Dago. "I mean you no harm." "We are pursued," the man whispered. Dago couldn't tell from the quality of his clothes whether he was a poor man or a wealthy one. Of course, there was no such distinctions left in Alpen, not for now. "Can you protect us?" one of the women asked. Dago shrugged. "Hardly," he said, and grabbed one of his crutches. Then their pursuers, close to 10 men, armed with swords, daggers, and poles. "Who's this?" one of them asked, aggressively approaching with a blade pointed. "No one," Dago said, lowering his own blade. The group of citizens cried, "Help us!" and ran. They brushed past Dago, almost toppling him, and scurried down the alleyway, wherever it might lead. Dago took a few steps as they passed, but once they were gone he knew there was no way he was catching up. "What's this all about?" asked the leader of the approaching gang. He grinned, though he was missing 2 teeth on either side of his front tooth. Dago clenched his teeth, then forced a smile of his own. "I've got no fight with you and yours, friend." "But you've got a sword. And crutches," the man said, chuckling. "What's with that? How'd you manage to survive here? With, what, a sprain or a break? Bet that sword ain't even yours, you cripple." "I took it off a guard I killed," Dago lied. A couple of the others chuckled, but the man in charge walked closer to Dago and his smile faded. Dago tensed as the man drew closer, raising his sword, but the criminal raised his hands openly, his knife hanging from a loop he had tied around his wrist. "I'm not going to hurt you, man. You want food? We could help you out." "What?" Dago asked. "Why?" "You have a skill to survive," the man said. "That's enough for our group. What's your name, friend?" "Dago," he told them. "Yours?" "Parsitrin," the man replied. "But call me Par." "Par," Dago said. He started to sheath his sword, still wary, until Par raised a finger. "Keep your sword out, Dago. You've got to earn your keep." Dago shrugged and grabbed one of his crutches. "All right, how?" He heard a cry behind him and turned to see 2 more men coming, with 3 prisoners in rope bindings. One of the citizens that had run past Dago earlier was there, and 2 women that had been with that group. Par greeted the newcomers by name, 2 more of his gang warriors, and then he looked at Dago. "You want in? You killed the man." Par's men shoved the man down, while dragging the women away. The one who had been carrying a child was mute and dumbstruck, while the other began to weep at the sight of her friend or lover shoved to his knees before the gang of killers. "What sort of test is this?" Dago asked with a raised eyebrow. Par smiled again, the chilling grin he had started with. "Just want to see if you told the truth about killing a guard." "By making me kill a tied-up beggar?" Par chuckled and shrugged. In a fluid movement, Dago lunged forward and rammed his sword blade between the prisoner's ribs. His survival in Alpen had become a lot simpler. Entertain Par, live. Disappoint, die. There we go. Dago 7. Awesome. Dago's gotta entertain this guy now, otherwise he's vulnerable to whatever they want to do to him. To a school, thanks. Chicken with rabies. You guys want to hear another, or should we just call it a night? Looks like the next chapter is continuing Erlen's story. Yeah, sure. That's probably a wise idea. I could use the sleep. We'll close that down. All right, guys. I got D&D in the morning tomorrow. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know a lot of a Sunday is a little slower usually, so I might just do some of my own wiki maintaining. I can update some of the pages and stuff like that, and maybe my timeline. So you guys catch my stream, great. If not, no worries. I'm not really sure what time I'll fit it in yet, but Monday we'll be back to normal here on the Knaves Guild, back on our normal. What is that? 10:30 Eastern time. Usually I start around then, 10:30, 11. All right, sounds good. Sounds good, man. And yeah, anyone else who's still around, enjoy your evening. Have a good one. Bye, guys.